Everyone, Professor Louis here. Today we will see the construction of rigid pavement. So the pavement usually constructed using a plain or unreinforced cement concrete slabs have high flexure strength, that is high resistance to the bending. It serves as a good and durable wearing surface as well as effective and strong base course of highway pavement. So let us see that why we require the or why you provide the rigid pavements. So these are provided when the road stretch is subject to any adverse conditions, like very heavy rainfall is there. Okay, that time we can't able to provide the bituminous road or asphalt road. Poor soil condition like subgrade conditions, weak CBR values or the weak modulus of subgrade reaction, those conditions we try to provide with the rigid pavement. Poor drainage, extreme climate conditions. Okay, then combination of some of these conditions which may lead the development of cracks in a pavement. So these are the components which are going to come across the CC pavement. The first is the subgrade, then comes the drainage layer. After that we have the subbase course or DLC, dry lean concrete, and at the top we have the PQC, that is pavement quality concrete. In between the DLC and PQC we use thin membrane. Okay, we see in the further construction steps. These are the materials. Obviously going to use the cement, coarse aggregate. Okay, then we are going to have the fine aggregate, water, and sometimes you add the chemical admixtures to increase the strength of the concrete, or even sometimes to cure it, rapid curing also. For those conditions we can use the chemical admixtures. Okay, these are the components or the materials used for the construction of the pavement. Okay, these are the basic components of the CC pavement: soil subgrade, drainage layer, subbase course generally constructed using the lean cement concrete, or we call it as a dry lean concrete. Then comes the suppression member laid on the top of the base course, CC slab using the pavement quality concrete. Then the different types of joints. So we see in the diagram here. Okay, this is the picture of the CC pavement. The first is the subgrade. Okay, then we have the base. Okay, base can be used as a DLC layer, and then next comes the top layer, that is we call as a PQC. So perpendicular to the whatever the here you can see, this is the longitudinal direction of the pavement. Is it clear? And perpendicular to that we call it as a transverse. Okay, this is the longitudinal direction of the pavement, and this is the transverse direction of the pavement. Clear? Now so this whatever the along the longitudinal directions, whatever the reinforcement you are going to provide, we call it as a tie bars. Clear? And here at the transfer directions, whatever the bars you are going to place, that we called as a double bars. So these are used basically to transfer the load from one slab to the other slab. That's the importance. In case of the longitudinal joints, these like tie bars, these try to maintain the same level of the pavement slabs, and the top surface gives the surface structures here, so that no skid or a can happen on a running surfaces. Clear? Okay, we go for the next slides. And these are different types of CC pavements. The first one is a JPCP, that is joint plain concrete pavement, where we not use any kind of reinforcement. The next comes the joint reinforced concrete pavement. Reinforcement placed at the mid height and the discontinued at the joints. Okay. If you see here, at the mid height of the thickness of the PQC, they place the reinforcement, but at the joints there is no any connections there. That is all about the joint reinforced concrete pavement. And one more, next is the continuous reinforced concrete pavement. This method is very costly and generally not used in India. Here you want to lay the continuous like a slab. Okay, the reinforcement used here. So the reinforcement cost as increases, obviously the payment cost also increases. So in that sense, we not use the CRCP. The next is the pre-stressed concrete pavement, which is a new and innovation constructions taking place in a recent trends. Okay, when you go for the construction, these are the equipments required for the different phases of the road construction. They like 3-wheeled or vibrator roller for compaction purpose, shovel, spade, sieve screening, concrete mixture for the mixing the concrete, formworks and iron stakes, watering devices, wood hand dampers for the concrete compactions, cycle pump or pneumatic air blower for cleaning of the joint, mild steel sections and blocks for the making the joints grows for the finishing purposes. So here are the 3 different methods from which the construction takes place. One is the construction by the slip form pavers, and second is the construction by the slip form fixed form pavers, and third is the construction by the fixed form and the labor oriented method. Clear? So basically different operations involved in construction, like what are the basic you can do: spread the prepared concrete mix to the desired thickness, grade and the cross slopes, compacting, then finishing the surface to the desired surface profile, texturing the top surface, curing after cutting of the construction joint and longitudinal. This is how the process goes. So prior to that, what you have to do? You have to do the site preparations here. So what will you do in the site preparation before the construction begins? The construction site must be carefully prepared. Okay, no any, then include the prepared the grade or the road base, subgrade and the subbase. Okay, in first the site is graded to the cut high points and the fills. Like if it is having undulated, make it a profile level. Generally cut material can be used as an embankment filling, wherein if your terrain makes it that possible. Next, the course of material is placed on the subgrade, where to provide the drainage and the stability, and the course of fairly rigid material, sometimes what you call cement or asphalt treated, that is placed on the subbase to provide what stable platform for the concrete pavement slabs. So let us see one of the method now, construction by the slip form paver. So here in CC pavements are generally constructed using the plain or unreinforced concrete slabs having the high flexure strength. Clear? And different types of joints are provided in CC pavement. There are both transverse and longitudinal joints with the appropriate type of reinforcement at the joints. Like appropriate type of steel double bars are designed and installed at expansion joints and the construction joints to serve as a what load transfer devices at these transfer joints. Okay, these are also unreinforced transfer contraction joints in a CC pavement. So in the construction, this is the one, the slip form paving the tray, whatever this is, this diagram whatever you seeing here, this is the spreader CC pavement. It's compact and finishes the concrete in continuous operation, like internal vibration is provided and shape it between the slide form with either conforming the what plate or by the vibrating the like oscillating finishes, what you can see at the top here. Clear? The next what you do here, sorry, so next what you do here, The concrete gets deposited without segregation, like in the front or oscillations, in the front paver across the whole width and the height, whatever the thickness. You can see the roof which is maintained for the how much the thickness of the PQC is to be laid, and the height which all the times is in excess to the required surcharge. Then the whatever the deposited concrete is stuck off the necessary average and differential surcharge by the means of the strike of the plate or by the screw auger device, which is extended across the whole width of the slab. The next after that, the alignment of the paver shall be controlled automatically from the guide wire with vertical tolerance of plus or minus 2 mm and lateral tolerance of plus or minus 10 mm. Then later the paver moves forward usually at the speed of 1.5 meter per minute, and whatever the concreting, compacting and floating and finishing are completed. A stiff mix is fed into the machine paver which moves forward, edges of the slip. The formed slab remains in the position and does not slump. The later the surface is structured using the rectangular steel or wire brush. Then a rinse based aluminized liquid is sprayed on the surface and sides and the left to the cure for the 8 to 12 hours. Later the contraction longitudinal joints are cut and marked. Curing is further continued by covering the pavement surface and the sides by 2 to 3 layers of moist hessian or jute bag, we can call it as gunny bag, about 3 hours. The hessian is kept moisture for the minimum curing period of 14 days. Okay, this is what the method we use in case of the construction by slip form paver. The next is by the fixed form paver. This is the machine which you use for the fixed form. Here the fixed form paving train shall consist of what? Consist of separate power machine which spread, compact and finish the concrete in continuous operations. Here the concrete is discharged without segregation into the hopper spreader, which is equipped with the means of for controlling its of rate of deposition on the subbase. And the whatever the spreader is there is operated to strike off the concrete up to a level required for a small amount of cutting down by the distributor of the spreader. Then the distributor of the spreader strikes off the concrete to the surcharge adequate to ensure that whatever the vibrator compactor throughout the compacts the layer. If necessary, the poker vibrator shall be used what adjacent to the side forms and the edges of the previously constructed slab. Here the vibrator compactor is set to a strike of the surface slightly high so that it can cut down to the required level by the oscillation beam. The machine rapidly adjusts changes in average and differentially in surcharge necessitated by the changes in the slab thickness or by crossfall. Then the final water the finisher finishes the surface to the required to avoid bring up the excess motor to surcharge by overloading. Whatever the narrow grooves of the specified width and depth are cut using a diamond saw machine to provide transverse contraction joint and longitudinal joints. Further, the curing is done by covering the whatever the pavement surface and sides by 2 to 3 layers of the moist hessian for about 3 hours. The hessian is again kept for the minimum curing period of 14 days. And last method is what construction of construction by the fixed form labor. Here what you use, whatever the CC pavement is to be constructed in the short stretches like narrow and road using the small machines, this kind of the fixation is formed. Here you can see in the picture the steel side forms are fixed in a position and extract position of a dowel and tie bar marked. Okay. The concrete is placed between the side from the with a surcharge, and compacting and leveling is done by vibrating screeds resting on the slide forms. The irregularities are corrected by adding the removing the concrete, followed by the compacting, like compaction and the finishing. Then the surface is textured manually, usually the steel brush with long handle. Curing the compound is sprayed by the hand using a pressure sprayer. So after this, what all the set, the sides form are removed and shifted forward. Curing compound is applied like at the side slabs, and the location of the contraction along the joints are cut and marked. Again, it's curing is done for covering pavement surface, like when side by the 2 to 3 layers of the moisture essence is left. Again, this is kept for the minimum curing for period of 14 days. These are different joints you can find in the CC pavement. One longitudinal joints, that is parallel to the traffic, okay, transfer joints, perpendicular to traffic. Here we find the contraction joints, expansion joints and construction joints. You can see here. So these joints we call it as a dowel bars. Here only you can find the different contraction joints, okay, and where these are the longitudinal joints, where you can find the tie bars here. Okay, these are the corner of the slabs. Okay, these are different slabs that are attaching here, and this is the contraction joints. And here you can see that at this point you find the here at this point you find the tie bar here. This is the cross section in a longitudinal directions. Clear? So these are the joints and we widen after the 14 days. Okay, these are the dowel bars which are used as expansion bars, and in the spacing from those is 25 250 mm center to center. These are the, in the diagram you can see that these are the dowel bars. In dowel bars, it's one side is fixed and other side it is a it can movement is allowed to move to and fro. Okay, in case of the summer the slabs expands, in those conditions it can easily move inside, so that no, if it is the both the side is fixed means you can, there is chance of creating the cracks on the pavement surfaces. So to avoid that, one side there is a fixed and other side it has a provided with some movement. So if you not provide the dowel bar, this is the what the condition. The approach slab you can see that all the time the pavements hits the edge of the another slab, it start getting down because of the load of the whatever the V load coming on the surfaces. And if you provide the dowel bar in a properly, then the load is transferred from one slab to the another slab easily. These are the quality control measures you have to look after into the while construction the CC pavement. Okay, so we'll end up here. Thank you for your patience here.